Hi everyone, it's Julie. I'm here today to play with some book pages. I'm going to be making some tags for my botanical journal that I've been giving you glimpses of as I make different page elements for it. I want some large tags for some of these large pockets. There's quite a few in this journal. So I'm making them with elements of book pages. Yeah, put that somewhere it's not going to fall. So I've just basically used some of the index pages at the back of this book, and I've cut some elements out. I've done quite a bit of fussy cutting this weekend. I don't like fussy cutting, it's not my favourite thing to do, but I've done it. It's a necessary evil sometimes, isn't it? So yeah, that's the first one I made, and I've decorated the front, and I've also decorated back on this one. I'd rather than just stick a big plain piece of craft paper, or that's actually a sticky label, I just put a small piece on and did a little bit more decorating. You can still do some journaling. You can't write War and Peace on it, but yeah, you can write a few little notes, can't you? So that's that one. I've got one here that I'm just playing with some elements. As I've done the fussy cutting as well, I've not just fussy cut whole flowers. I've cut some that were on edges of some pages. There's one, there's another one. I think that might look good on a belly band or a bookmark. So yeah, just bear that in mind when you're fussy cutting your bits and bobs. Right, first thing I'm going to do is glue some of these backing pages together. It really is just book page. I've not glued it to anything. I've just folded it up and made a tag or a belly band or a bookmark or whatever it's going to be. So let's grab some of those plain pages for now. I'll show you the books I've taken stuff from today. These are all listed on my Amazon storefront. Yeah, prices on there sometimes are ridiculous, but you can have a look, see what they're going for at the minute, and you can also get the details if you want to look elsewhere, like eBay. eBay listings change so often, I just couldn't keep up with listing the eBay listings. So there's a guide, field guide in colour to wildflowers. And bear in mind, if you're not in the UK, you don't have to have these. You've probably got equivalent books in whatever country you're in, especially the US. That's the illustrated book of wildflowers. Let's move them three because we're getting a bit near camera now. We've got a Victorian flower album. These are just the books I use a lot and they are my favourites. And the concise British flora in colour. Right, I've got, here we go. These are like the index pages from the back. This is from the concise British flora. So I think we'll glue one of those. What else have we got? And then I've just got some plain pages from just any other books. Basically, that's that a recipe book. Yeah, the edges were a bit crinkled, so I'll just put it to one side to perhaps make a tag from. There's a few plain ones. Yeah, so I've got plenty to go at, haven't I? Here's some from that field guide. What's it called? A Victorian flower album field guide. What am I on about? It's just too... Every time I look at him, I think, you grumpy bugger. I sort of want to use that one as a backing for some tags. So I'm going to rip. Woohoo. Oh, I did it. So let's do this one. So I want the text showing. It's going to be a tall tag. So that's going to... Do I want that side showing? Oh, we've got a dilemma now, haven't we? Ooh, we have. Tell you what, I'm going to have that side showing because it's got all these little botanical drawings on it in background. So I'm just going to fold it. Want my tag? I'll have it about yay wide. Yeah, it's going to be a big one, this. And then I'm going to chop that bit off. Get the trimmer. I'm probably going to chop top and bottom off as well. That's that. Put you to one side, mate. And I'm just going to fold this one. I've noticed this book in particular, the pages are not properly square. I don't know whether that was just how the paper got chopped in the factory when they made the book. I'm just folding it up against that Then I'll move that, and then I'll just fold that over. So there's no measuring happening in this. As long as it fits in your journal when you've done, job's a good one. So I've got that on the back. I'm just going to trim the top and bottom off because there's no point gluing those when we don't need them. I know it needs trimming a little bit, or it will be far too tall for my journal. So that don't bother me. So we've now got that lovely backing for a tag. I'll probably leave a lot of that showing on the back and just put a small amount of sticky paper there. So I'm gluing these first so they have time to dry before we decorate. I can go back and decorate the ones I'd already glued. Right, I'm just going to use my regular Elmer's Extreme. I've started using this instead of a glue book. The glue dries quick enough rather than ending up with loads of gluey pages to throw into the recycling. There we go. Then I'm going to glue this page and then just glue it down. You can sew around these if you want. If you're not going to sew, which I haven't, just make sure you get plenty of glue on your edges. You don't have to be as thorough on the centre bits. So that's going to be a lovely base for a tag. I've got about 3 bone folders out and I've lost them all. This is me crafting. it's just a mess. Well, I've left a little bit of black line on there. I'm just going to come in and trim it a little bit because if I don't, it'll annoy me. If it doesn't annoy you, don't bother. Again, that's because the book pages are not completely square. So that's going to be one base. Now I've got these. These are the back pages from the Concise British Flora. I think we might have a thinner, taller one out of these. I sometimes like to centre the writing. I just sometimes do on the front. So I'm gonna, what do I need to, just fold it, woman, just fold it. Don't worry about centering it. Get as wide a tag as you need, because you need some wide, tall tags. There you go, just do it. And then here you can cut it, fold it, rip it. I'm going to cut it. We won't see the cut edge because I'm going to be folding it inside there. So I'm just going to fold that up against that edge. I like doing it like this. It just does do away with any need for measuring. And we're not looking for perfection, are we? Get a little bone fold. That stuck to my gluey page. Whee. Oh, we got a wee in. That's that. Then I'm just going to glue these edges. I could do with cutting it before I glued that, really, couldn't I? Because we know that's going to be more than one tag. Yeah, I'll cut it. I know my journal's the pages are 8 inches high, so I'm going to guesstimate this roughly. Cut it that way. That's 6 inches. Oh, on the bottom we can find that's 7 inches, and then we want about another inch, which is about that. So I'm going to cut it about there. We've got that. You can make anything you want out of that. Could be a tiny little tag sideways. Yeah, now we'll glue this together. Whee. Plenty on those edges. Again, not so important if you're going to sew. Sometimes I'll sew some things after I've made them on camera. But I am conscious that everyone's got a sewing machine. Not everyone likes to sew. I've stuck that to my glue page, but hey-ho. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to be putting something on. But again, I love this glue because it just balls up and rubs off, especially if you've got one of them glue rubbers, which I'm sure my kids steal mine, I'm telling you. There's a lot of things in this craft room that just disappear. Right, so that's 2 tag bases. You can see it's gone a little bit wobbly So I'm just going to put that under my mat now to keep it flat while it dries, and we'll go back to decorating that one I'd already stuck up at weekend. Right, well, that's them. And let's bring these back. So I've got one big wide tag, and then I've got these two that I don't know what I'm going to do with. I could make one tall thin tag with that. I could make two shorter tags with that. Yeah, let's do that. So that can be two shorter tags. Again, I'm not measuring, just guesstimating. That one didn't need to be that tall. Let's make it about 7 inches. Then we've got that again, a tiny tag if you have it sideways, or a little journal card. It'll end up somewhere, I just don't know where yet. Right, now let's cut the top corners. Right, I saw, who did I see to this? Was it Annie at Lace Journal 75, I think it was, and it was like, do you know when you have a light bulb moment, you think, oh, why didn't I think of that? Well, I have a lot of them light bulb moments when I watch Annie. I'm going to do the top of this tag. There you go. There's no need to make it. If you're doing two tags the same, there's no need to make a template. There you go. Just use the blumping tag. I hope you're following this. I'm just... Sorry, I have to turn it upside down to... And then we need to cut that corner off, so we'll line the tag up again. And then, hey presto, we've got two matching tags. Oh my word, how easy was that? Ha, yeah. Works when you're doing two tags same, but it'll even work with this, won't it? I mean, I use little cards, little plastic loyalty cards, old credit cards, debit cards, Weight Watchers, joining cards. You reach your gold weight. That were a few stone ago now, wasn't it, missus? You get the idea. Anyway, so I've got 3 there ready to decorate, and this one that I'd already decided what to put on it. So let's decorate that side up. Like I say, it's more craft along today, isn't it? I'm not shattering any. Yeah, rocket's not. Wow, that's rocket science. No, it's not. It's just decorating junk journals. Now, if you want to put anything else in the background, go ahead and do it. I'm just going to have a flick through my labels. Ooh, come here. Right, I've got this one out today. I've still got labels stored in all sorts of different ways. I will decide. I like this way. It's very space saving when you've got a small craft room. But then I put some in some cute tiny tins. Reading of journal. I do like that. And having blue butterfly there and that down here. That might look good. Reading of journal. I like that. I do like this having a couple of tags laid up idea. I watched a fabulous video from Marley. I don't know whether she calls herself Marley Design or Marley Creates. Anyway, you'll know her. She's one of Tim Alt's design team members. And she just did some clusters with just labels and stuff. It was fabulous. She were inking them. She were splattering them. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I think I want them too. I can have 2 labels together, and I'm just going to do a little bit of inking. I've just knocked some on the floor. I ain't got a clue what I knocked on the floor. Could be out in this. I've got ink somewhere. Here it is, hiding. I think this is back to how I used to my videos, rather unplanned, desk covered in all sorts of rubbish. I sort of got out of habit of it, and everything had to be planned. What are we going to use? So I weren't looking for things and losing things. No, I'm just like, whatever. I'll use whatever I lay my hands on. Same way. The ephemera. I mean, obviously know what I'm making, don't I? Because I'm using lots of book pages in this botanical journal. I love using floral book pages. Right, that's everything inked up. I've already inked the tag, I think. I cut my corner after. Oh, that's a lot of ink. I still sometimes forget how juicy this ink pad is. I'm saying it's new. I've had it about a month, maybe more. But it's still ever so juicy. Right. So, now I'm going to use this to glue them, but then I'm going to put some little dabs of art glitter glue or Barely Arts, whichever you prefer, on some more intricate parts. So bring your glue sheet back in, woman. And here we go. I'll put this one on first because this one has to go right up to edge, doesn't it? Just using my bog standard Elmer's Extreme. I'm not using my purple because I'm saving that for when I really need to see exactly where the glue's going. Although having said that, I think it's cheaper than this, so I could be using purple. Yeah, I could. But that may not be the case if you're in the US, where I think that's the home of the Elmers, isn't it? It's certainly a lot popular over there. We've not had Elmers until the last few years. Just got a piece of kitchen roll. I've sort of smeared some ink on back onto that page, but it don't matter. I can live with that, if you can. Can you? I can. I didn't even need out on intricate bits there, did I? It's not too hot here today. And even though I've not had this Elmer's glue stick in the fridge, it's not behaving too bad. Whee! Come up. Get up. Behave. We're in collage here. Can't go sticking and staying. About there. Dab rather than swipe. There you go. Then you won't make your glue run, missus. I've got a bit of glue on that now. Just wipe it off. Wipe it off, woman. There you go. And roll it. It'll come off. It's nice and quiet today. It's Monday. Kids are at school. I nearly made this video yesterday, but they were having a lot of fun in the garden next door. They're absolutely loving that trampoline, them kids. They were a bit... They was very loud. It's not like they're in the garden all the time being loud. And it doesn't really bother me. I think a few of you have also said it's nice to hear kids playing. I didn't realise until after I watched some of my last video back you could hear somebody's dog barking. For some reason it sounded louder on video than it did here. I'll have to look into a microphone that blocks out more background noise, I think. But until that happens, it is what it is, isn't it? Whee! You might even hear next door but one's parrot at some point, yeah? They've got a macaw. Now they're big parrots, aren't they? Right, I'm pretty happy with that. I really like it. Now I've just got to decide what to put on the top. I just put a bit of seam binding and a couple of different types of string on that. I think I'm going to do the same for this one, for this big one. Yeah, we can put tabs on whatever. I did go as far as to cut some tabs, and there we go. Just from some scraps, you know, with my new tab punch. Loving it. Right. Get your eyelets out, missus. Here we go. I'm using these. These are the We Are Memory Keeper ones. I've got a lot of certain colours. I tend to always go for certain colours that I'm left with. I'm going to use... Shall I use that black one? I could do, because I never seem to use black ones in anything else. I've got that dark... Yeah, I'm going to use that brown one. Use your brown one. Grab your heel punch. It's just gone really dark. I don't know what video's looking like. Probably looks like I'm crafting in dark. Yeah, weather's a bit... Don't know what it's doing, shall we say. It's gone a bit dark. There we go. You can see better. I'll try and edit that last dark bit. And if I've been successful, you'll wonder what on earth I'm on about, won't you? Because it won't look like it's gone dark to you. I've been doing YouTube nearly 3 years, and I'm just learning how to do things like that in editing. I'm not an editor. I can't be bothered with it. It is what it is, isn't it? Right, I'm using scraps of my seam binding. Scraps and bits that I've used in recent projects. Again, that's sheer laziness because I can't be bothered to get box out with them all in. Oh, I'm sorry, Erin. Erin is the lovely lady at my scrap cabin shop where all these came from. And yeah, she messaged me a while back and I've totally forgot to reply if you're watching, Erin, because I know you do watch. I don't think I want that bright pink. I might have to get ooh, that's nice. No, stick to your pinks and greens, woman. Yeah, a bit of green. Ooh, yeah. So we're using frosted lime, and is this the moss one? I use a lot of this. What is it called? Moss, yeah. It's just my favourite colour for this. Let's use some moss. I know it's not... Ooh, look at that. It's not... Yeah. I like it. What can I say? Do what you like, don't you? 27 pairs of scissors on desk. Can't find one. Who knew? So I've got a little bit of that. And you could tie it through and tie a bow, but we've got a little bit of dimension with that eyelet. So I'm going to use that. Let's grab some waxed thread. I've got my black and I've got my brown. I think I'm going to tie this one with black. I think I want a bit of string through there as well. Let's grab some string. Here we go. String, it's twine. Yes, take that back out and get yourself a bit of string. Cut it to roughly the same length with scissors you've lost. Here we go. Yeah, to be honest, the reason I couldn't find my scissors is, this will astound everyone, I'd actually put them back in the scissor pot, yeah? They're in the scissor pot instead of being laid somewhere randomly on my desk. Right. So that's that. And then I'm going to tie it off with some waxed thread. Right, you stay there. If I put waxed thread on top of it, you probably can't see now because there's that great big black ball of waxed thread. There we go. I'll cut it. I just kept them down while I was snipping away. I work in chaos when I'm not filming. So, here we go. Welcome to my chaotic world. My eldest is just same when she crafts and does her artwork, and yet the youngest, everything is perpendicular. Yeah, if the perpendicular police existed that I mentioned in the last video, she would be the head, or she would be, yeah, she'd be rising up the ranks of the perpendicular police. She'd be the perpendicular police captain in no time. Well, that is an autistic trait, isn't it? Sometimes she has to have it all lined up and perfect. Okay, I wish the inside of a wardrobe was the same. For some reason, that's a bit of an out of sight, out of mind. I'm just going to cut these strings down a bit. There we go. I like that now. Happy with that. Right, for the back, I'm going to grab some of my sticky paper. 2 ticks. As if by magic. We've got some brown sticky paper. I've had a few questions about this recently, about where I get it from. Again, I get it from Amazon. I get most of my stuff from Amazon because, if you don't know, I'm a hermit. I'm a hermit. I don't like shopping. I only shop when I have to. If I can get something delivered to my house and it don't cost earth, all well and good. And to be honest, I wouldn't know where to go out and find this. And the sheets, it is a full A4 label sheet. Yeah, the back comes off that. You could even repurpose that if you wanted to. And yeah, I love it. It tears nicely. I'll just show you. Because the backing is also made of paper. So that's one of the reasons I love it. And again, everything I use that comes, if I mention it's from Amazon, in my description box there's the link to my Amazon storefront. Right, pop that to one side while I bring my tag back now. Right, let's decide what's going to go on back at tag, because I'm liking this decorate a little bit at back of your tag up idea, and I've fussy cut some thin flowers for that purpose. The first one there I've picked up. I think I like it. yeah, that's what's happening. And I'm just going to put some sticky brown paper down there. That was started ripping. It is a little bit too thin, so I think I'm going to rip it down here. Cut it if you want. I like the ripped look. So, oops, that's my fan just gone up floor. Yeah, that came from Amazon and all. Oh. Yeah, if you do go onto my Amazon as well, I get a little bit of commission. Even if you buy something that I haven't listed for 24 hours when you're on the Amazon site, anything you buy, I'll get a tiny bit of commission for, and it costs you nothing. As for the things I have listed, I only put on things that I like and use. If I don't like and use it, I take it off. Unless people have less trouble with it than me, like some of me. We are memory keepers, crocodile things. I'm just clumsy with them. I break them. Right, I want that to have a bit of an angle to it. And then I might stick a butterfly up there. Yeah, I'm going to stick that on. I'm not going to ink it. Backing on labels, me, trouble, not always. That's how I like to do it. On my finger. There now. There we go. I'm happy with that, so I'll peel it back then. There we go. Very random. I'm into randomness lately. I think I want a bit of ink on the edge of this one. Put them in bin, woman, then your desk doesn't look like bottom of a skip. Whee. Just a teeny bit. Then I shall come in and get some glue on it. Yeah, it reminds me of kind of sticking you used to do at school, making tags like this. Or I used to go to Brownies. And we were always sticking stuff in scrapbooks. If anyone still goes to Brownies now, do you have Brownies in the US? It's like, yeah, I don't know. Why do they always stick stuff in scrapbooks at Brownies? Why? That seems to be all we ever did. I remember sticking bean tin labels in and stuff. And you got badges and, yeah, I enjoyed it. Right, I quite like that. I'm going to stick a flutterby up here. So get your flutterby tin out. Put your seam binding over there while you're not using it. Put your thingy. I need a desk 10 times bigger than I've got, you see. Put lid on your what's it? Right, find a butterfly that matches. Oh, that's very bright, that one, but I think it makes quite a statement, doesn't it? Oh, I like him. Ooh. So most of these, I think is that one. I do have a digital on my Buy Me a Coffee site for some butterflies. That could be one of those. I turn them over because if they've got book pages on, then I know they came from a book. That's a bit big, isn't it? That's just stealing show. I think I like that one. Yeah, I'm going to pop him on. Just give him a little bit of an inking. And then again, I'm going to stick a label somewhere down bottom. Yeah, so you don't always have to have plain backs on your tags. I can hear creaking outside my door. Hello, thank you. I've got a cup of tea. I ordered a cup of tea when I was looking for my labels and it appeared just by magic. My youngest made it for me. She's got no school till September. She can make herself useful. No, she always makes me a cup of tea when she's in and I'm crafting. There you go, Mr. Flutterby. You're looking nice. And let's grab you a label. Grab me label. Folder. I think I want something with black on. Oh, maybe a word for a change. What have we got here? Live passionately. Not really. You are loved. Upside down. Yeah. You are loved. I don't know. I don't always get on with a lot of these flowery sayings. I like the sarcastic ones best. I think Tim Holtz does one insulting words, doesn't he? Be passionate. Just breathe. Just breathe. Yeah, I like that one. We always need to remember to do that. Just breathe. Then everything else will follow, won't it? Oh, oops, what's that? You can go next one, mate. You fell out. Could you go on there? Date. Just breathe. No, just put the just breathe on and stop faffing. We'll put never fail on the next one. Yeah, I've not used any of my art glitter glue yet. If any edges lift up, excuse me, then I will use it. There we go. So that's the back, that's the front. I'm pretty happy with that one. I like it. And I'm just going to put that under my mat now so that it stays flat while it dries. Yeah, I have two mats. I have a big one that covers the old desk, then a slightly smaller one that I mess up. Right, they're the ones I did. Lovely and flat because they've been under my mat. And let's get decorating. This one is a much paler book, the British Flora. So I may look for, oh, I like that. I do like that, but that could be on back, couldn't it? Oh, I don't know. I just love it. It's really nice. Yeah, that's the, yeah, the other book that we just used. I forgot name. That would look nice up there, wouldn't it? Ooh, yeah. Let's try decorating them together. That would look nice too. They don't look nice, Julie. You've just got to decide which one you're going to use, love. It's not rocket science, really, is it? Just pick a flower and go with it. You're going to use them all at some point. Maybe I should have just cut even more out and made 27 tags all at once. You're not going to find one as good as that first one, are you? You're just not alike. I was so like that. But this needs some colour on it. It's looking very pale and uninteresting. Let's start by... I don't know if I even want to ink around that flower. Let's ink the tag. In fact, let's do some tag-shaped top bits. Let's have them both matching and use Annie's method. Right, get your big scissors because they cut straight lines better. Where are they buried? There they are. I think I'll have more. Yeah. Da-da. I've done two, haven't I? Yeah. Not a bad thing. You've not done it wrong. Turn that and cut it. Yeah. Turn that and cut it. Yeah, you can't go wrong, can you, doing it like this? As long as you're happy with that first cut, which there's no angle police coming. Or maybe it's getting really dark in here now. Let's readjust. Here we go. Right, so we've got both those cut. Let's get a bit of inking done. Ink's buried now, it's buried. Where is it? Where's it buried? Where's the treasure? Could be anywhere really, couldn't it, on this desk? Oh, I've got enough. Yeah, I've got enough on. Whee. Just give that one a little ink around edges. Other one, I think I'm going to get my mat out and do some inking that comes further in. I like the aged colour of these. It is a printed aged colour on these. That is an old book, but it was in very good condition, so the pages are still quite white. Somebody must have just had that on a bookshelf in behind a glass door or something and never used it. That's all I can think of. Right, let's get something to ink on. 2 ticks. Here we go. I've got my glass mat out. I've lost one at feet off it, so it's gonna be a bit wobbly. So you know these we cut off and I said they're gonna come in handy for summer. There we go. Stop your mat wobbling, woman. Right, I'm gonna come in and ink like so, because I want to colour up more of the book page. It always works better on a smooth surface. You can get plenty of different inking mats. I've got the first one Timmy come out with. It was so expensive. My friend and me bought one between us and cut it in half. That's going back some years. I think when kids first started at school and I started going back to some card making classes, they were about, were they 4 or 3 and they're 16 now, so yeah. Ooh, there we go. And you can, I like these domed blending sponges. You don't get the sharp edges, the harsh edges with them so much. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I'm not going to ink the edge of that. I don't need it. I think it would spoil it. So I'm going to glue that on there. What else can we have on? Maybe we could have a little set of butterflies dancing up the side. We could. Grab your flutterbys. Put your lid on your ink before you sit your flutterbys in them. It's like a child's crafting and mother's telling him off, or it's just me talking to me. Don't like you, mate. No, you can go. Would you have all these different coloured butterflies all playing together in garden? Would you? I don't know. Ooh. I think we need the smaller one up top. We could have a small one over. I could put it sort of nearer the middle, I suppose. I just liked it over to one side. Don't cover the flower up. We could have another one down here. Yeah, I like that. I like it. I don't mind all that extra space because it's got that interesting writing. And then we need a few labels on this one, I'm thinking. I'm going to grab some different labels. See what I mean? I started storing them all in tiny tins and it's very faffy. I like it, but it's a bit faffy. Ooh, here's some that I made on a video. I think I used one on one of other tags. I like that. You might look good there. I'm liking that let's have a label hanging over edge look at times. Let's fold you in half, see what occurs. We can just rip a label and have a part of a label. But having it hanging over edge, I just like it. But I think that belongs better over there. Yeah. And that, I just don't want to use that one anymore, basically. I think I prefer that one. Now, are we covering too much of this plant up now? I think we are. You just know. No, you're wrong. What about that date one we had? I think I quite like that. That needs to be a smaller butterfly. That's where it needs to be. It's stealing the show. We can't have that. What about this paler greener one? Could have one behind the plant. Green one down there. That there. That there. That. I'm happy with that. So let's stick it down before we forget what on earth we're doing with it. All them silly little tins away. I do like them. I suppose, was that less of a faff than my folder or more? I really don't know. Right, let's do some edge inking. I'm going to ink the butterflies a little bit. I might come in and ink flower yet. I might have lied about that. I might have fibbed completely. You're going up there. You're going to go up top. I think you already had a bit of ink on me. I'm just going to ink this teeny tiny bit. Just a teeny tiny bit. Just a smidgen. Because it's meant to be disappearing into background, isn't it, when I put all that other stuff on. Yeah. Right, I'm going to stick that on first because that's the one thing I know where I want it. Get you inked. Right. Get your glue card back, lady. And stick you on. Oh, we don't want purple glue. Let's have that one. Let's have this one that we didn't put lid on. Whee. was about there. Maybe wrong. I've got a bit here on back. Now let's stick the actual plant on. I'm a bit confused now with this. I think that was a dangling plant, yeah, because of the way the words go on back, but I've got to be honest, I don't care. I like it better that way. I've decided it goes that way. I don't care if it's supposed to dangle. We would have never known that if I'd not known. Mind you, other people are probably looking at it thinking that's a hanging plant. You need to turn it upside down. Some of you may even have been shouting, but oh well. I can do what I want to do because I can. I think I put the plant a bit further that way than I initially had. Oh well, oh well. I want you there now. You there. It's all gone Pete Tong because I've moved my butterflies. You go there. You go there. You go there. Just stick them on. Just stick them on, woman. You're faffing now. Yeah, my plant was a little bit near at middle, wasn't it? There you go. Because top of plant is just a bit boring and a bit green. Did I ink you, mate? Or did you escape the inkiness? Or do I indeed need to dab my dabber in my ink? I don't know. Let's see what occurs. There's just something not right about this now, and I don't know what it is. I had it perfect, and then I spoilt it by moving it. I should have took a photo, but I happened to be filming with my camera. You can go opposite that label. There's no laws on plants not being opposite labels. Right, you are going to struggle to fit now because I put that there. Could we just lift your wing a little bit and tuck it under you? Yeah, that'll be spot on, that will. I might even handwrite a date on. I'm going to do this with my art glitter because I've printed this on a thicker cardstock. This is 160 GSM. Again, I got asked what weight I print things on. I use 100 or 110 or 120 GSM paper, and that all depends on what I've got at the time, what were cheapest at the time. I don't stick to one weight if another weight that's slightly different is cheaper. I just don't, because that's me. But I do print a lot of things on 160 GSM. And I always go for colour photocopier card, and it does tend to be a bit thinner than craft card. I don't know why, even though the weight says it's the same, it just is a bit thinner. Couldn't tell you why that is. There's probably a reason, but it's far above my head. Right, now let's do the back. We've just got one label on. Let's come in and do a bit of inking. Grab your ink, woman, you need another dip. There we go. That's why sharp corners can be offensive. They get damaged. And then again, I'm going to put a bit of the brown paper on this, and I'm going to choose, I maybe just put a small plant at the bottom and a couple of butterflies sprinkled around. So here's my brown paper. I'm just going to rip a big strip off. I don't want to rip this. Is it my strength? I think it's my strength. I don't think the paper's got thicker. Just come off. Behave. I could have done with gluing that down after, but well, the world's not going to end, is it? Rip a bit more off. That just looks like I've ripped it round the label. Oh well, I like it. It'll do. I'm not inking the edge. I'm just going to stick it on. The dog's out now. You just won't believe the dog. I didn't even know what kind of dog it was. It's got a big bark, and I saw it other day. It's a little sausage dog. It's a sausage dog. How can such a little dog have such a huge bark? I was taking Rachel for a haircutting, and it came out. It were barking at me and following me, and I just walked it back towards its own house, and its owner who were looking a bit frantic because it got out. And it's all mouth and no trousers, it were. I tell you, all mouth, no trousers, but extremely cute. Right, oh yeah, we'll put you there, and we will put a flutterby up the top. Oh yeah, there you go, done. I'm not even messing with that one. I'm just going to glue it on before I change my mind. You see, you can overfaff, you know, and we all do it. I honestly faff so much less when I'm filming. I don't know, it's like, you come on, go on with your filming, woman. When I'm not filming, I've got all the time in the world, and I'll just faff about forever. I forgot to ink that, but it doesn't matter, I like it. I only like to ink. I don't ink as much as I used to. I'll ink if something needs to stand out a little bit more from the background, which these didn't. So I just really didn't see need to ink. Right, I love that one. I think that might be... I do like that now. Lord knows what it looked like before. Right, do I want a tab or a hole? I'm going to measure it and see. Let's see how far this is going to... Because I can always put a bit more off top if it's too tall. I've made that full 8 inches. So if I stick a tab on top, it really is going to stick out, isn't it? But I could cut a little bit off it. Let's do it. Let's chop some off the top. Will my angles be the same as they were? No. Does it matter? No. Do I like it with the small angles? Actually, I want them a bit bigger. So I'm going to grab my... I think I'll grab a plastic card. Ooh, plastic cards, where have you all gone? You've only got about 30, woman. And I found one here that hasn't got an angle cut, so... If in case I were waffling about plastic cards earlier and somebody were like, what on earth's Shan about plastic cards? Look, I tend to use a plastic card. If you're just doing one tag, it's a really good method. Because now I've seen Annie's method when she's doing two same that blew my brain. I'm like, yeah, don't need to use your card all the time. Right, where's your ink dabber? It's been in your hand not long ago. It can't be far. Here it is. Just re-ink that top. Yeah, so I want to put a tab on top. Yeah, a tab rather than a hole. So I've gone ahead and cut some. What's chances of me finding one? Here we go. Oh, I like that because that is a different colour. I'm going to have it that way though, so writing's right way up front at tag. Just because. Yeah. And again, I've used that. It's the it's by Vasson. I say it as Vasson, could be wrong. Creative. I got it straight from them. I don't think you can get it through Amazon yet. I keep checking. I can't see it, although they do a lot of their things through Amazon. The punch is about €15, which at minute I think is that about £13. But the delivery was like something like £12. I added a couple more bits and bobs onto my order and the delivery didn't go up, so it weren't too bad actually. You know, I bought some glue, I bought a new rubber strip for one of my paper trimmers, things like that, which actually were a little bit cheaper than they would have been in UK. So that also made the delivery much less painful. But compare that to cost her a second-hand Stampin' Up punch. Yeah, you could have bought 10 for less than price of one of them. They go for ridiculous money. Supply and demand, isn't it? But yeah, capitalism gone crazy, but then I will shut up. Capitalism, we love it. We get some glue on. You really need to poke this with your pin, woman, because it's starting to seize up on you. Right, I like that. Turn it over. It's got a little bit of your butterfly wing now. You made your thing a bit shorter, but I could have stuck. Oh,
I don't know that
made me jump. Why on earth did you just chime in? Every time you just chime in to tell me you know nothing, and I jumped out of my skin, woman. That was crazy. And because I always do lately, I need to put an eyelet in the top of my tag. I don't know why, it just seems to be essential. You have these phases in crafting. You see something you like it, you do it on everything. And me having an eyelet on my tag is an example of that. Jeepers, that made me jump. And I'm putting a silver eyelet in for no reason other than I want to. There we go. I just like that look, what can I say? Right, so we've decorated that one. And I'm going to decorate this other big one. The little ones, I think you'll just have to decorate on your own if you've made little ones now. Poof, as if by magic, I'm here. I'm so sorry, I've lost a bit of that video because it was so bright, you just couldn't see it. I tried turning the brightness right down, but it was blinding. You wouldn't have seen anything even with sunglasses. So you've missed out on the decorating of this last one. But it was actually the most simple. I loved that text and those little drawings behind. So I've just basically put a label, a flower, a butterfly. Not rocket science. And then on back, I've put a double butterfly flower and just a little piece of that craft paper, because again I just love that paper, so I left it as is. So yeah, do not use your glass mat on a day when the sun is coming in and out, paying peekaboo from out behind the clouds and my big tree. So yeah, sorry about that. Anything that I've mentioned in video is linked in my description. Erin at Scrap Cabin Shop, where I get my seam binding. All the books that I've used are listed on my Amazon storefronts. You can get them from there if they're going cheap, or you can get them from somewhere else, but you will be able to get the details and the ISBN numbers to help you find them elsewhere cheaper. You may come across them in a local thrift or charity shop. Yeah, I've not been lucky like that, but I don't mind paying a few quid for them. Not too many quids, though. Not too many quids. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.